Ah, Good morning, world. Can everybody hear me? Is anybody here yet? This is the first question. I'm live. Facebook is building an audience for me now. That is lovely. All right, let me check in with my. Yep, I'm live. There I am. Okay, I'm watching myself. Cool. So, as you guys are getting in here, today we're going to be talking about mobility and why is it so important. Let's see here. Who's coming in? No one has joined. Okay, we got like 5 people. Lestriat's here. Hey, Lestriat. How are you? All right. So again, this Facebook Live broadcast is all about mobility. So we're going to be talking about why it's so important, and what all goes into it. So mobility isn't just stretching. Mobility also includes a lot of other stuff. So we're going to talk about all of those things. And ultimately, I want to lead you guys into the newest challenge that Manful Yoga is hosting. It's the last one of 2016, and this is the Mobility Challenge. And our goal here is to help you improve your overall mobility. But before I do that, I want to tell you about mobility and again, why it's so important but you know, some of the problems about why most people neglect it and why they don't think it's very important, and why that leads to injury, and why I don't want you guys to get injured, and how I went through that same thing when I was younger, and it sucked. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my story as well, and I guess I'll start off with that because that's easiest to talk about. So my story with mobility. I was doing yoga, let's see here, for about 2 years ago. I think it was 2 or 3 years ago now. I was doing yoga pretty much every day, maybe 2 to 3 hours a day. And I was doing this with my lessons, with my group classes. So I wasn't just doing this on my own. I was doing some workouts on my own because I was filming a lot as well. I was making videos for YouTube and growing my brand, growing my audience. And I did a lot of yoga. And I wasn't doing a lot of supplementary training, a lot of complementary training. I was doing mostly yoga, a lot of pushing, a lot of planks, a lot of handstand attempts. And I wasn't doing much to counter what I was doing with yoga. And I was only stretching, and I wasn't doing any other mobility work other than soft tissue stretching. So stretching, right? What we do typically in yoga, we're stretching. We are building strength, but we're also stretching. But that was the only aspect of mobility I was doing. And there's so much more that goes into it. And what happened was my body broke down. So I was teaching a yoga class, and I decided that for this class, I was going to show people how to do a handstand. We were going to work on just kicking up into handstands. And so what happened, I was setting up to do a handstand, got my arms up, put them down on the ground, started kicking up, and then I decided to do a handstand press. So I lifted my legs up, and there was a huge imbalance in my shoulders. To be honest, I was a little hungover from the night before, and I was dehydrated. And what happened was something in my rotator cuff, I'm not sure which muscle it was, something in my rotator cuff strained. It made this kind of uncomfortable pull. I didn't hear anything, but I just felt this twang, I felt this pull, and I knew that something was really wrong. So I pretended like nothing was wrong. Just set my arms down, stopped doing it, and I might have even gone through with it. I might have kept going. But anyways, I realized that I had done something really wrong to my shoulders. So I sought out help. I looked to a few of my trainer friends in Austin, and I asked them, like, what's going on with my shoulders? Can you tell me what's wrong? I asked my girlfriend, the physical therapist, and so she told me, well, you're only doing yoga, you're only doing pressing. You need to do more pulling. Okay, that makes sense. So I started doing more pulling exercises. So I started working on mobility in my back by working on my muscle activation in my back muscles. Secondly, I talked with another trainer friend of mine whose name is Paul, and he introduced me to mobility work in terms of self-myofascial release. So that is using stuff like lacrosse balls and knot outs to help release muscle knots and to help directly improve or directly address restricted muscle tissue. So one big issue was that I wasn't doing this at all when I was doing yoga. I was just stretching. And so if you can picture a rope, I have a rope actually. So you can picture a rope, right? And if the rope is long and there's no knots in it, I can stretch this rope. I can pull, and let's say it'll stretch a little bit. But if my goal is to make this as long as possible, right? That's what I'm trying to do when I'm stretching. What happens if there's a knot in this, right? So I'm gonna tie a knot in here now. And now it's significantly shorter, okay? So I'm gonna pull, and the muscle that can stretch, right? So the muscle that is not in a knot, not here, but on the outsides, this is going to stretch, okay? I can pull this, it will move. But the more I stretch here, this knot isn't gonna go anywhere. No matter how much I pull it, no matter how much I stretch it, this knot is going nowhere. It's going to stay right there. In order to actually address this restricted muscle tissue, in order to address this knot, I need to work on it, okay? So I need to do something like this with a lacrosse ball. I need to work on trigger point therapy. If you've ever heard of trigger point therapy, this is what self-myofascial release is about. We're gonna work into the knot with a lacrosse ball or with a mobility tool, okay? Like the knot out, to get the trigger point and to release the knot. So that's what we do. So now we've released the knot, right? We've got a longer muscle once more. But in order to release the knot, we had to do mobility work. We had to do self-myofascial release. So if your goal is improving flexibility, your real goal is improving overall mobility, because you want to get more flexible, but what you're really after is what we think of in terms of flexibility. So flexibility, we usually refer to as, right, just let's say if shoulder flexibility is my goal, I want to be able to lift my arms all the way up overhead without arching my back. But what I really want is mobility. I want to be able to lift up and get my arms back without arching my back. I want to have good shoulder range of motion, mobility. And when we say range of motion, when we say flexibility, those are all just terms that fit into the term mobility. So, the other aspect of mobility that I haven't mentioned yet is muscle control or motor control. And you can also call it as muscle engagement. So, core, you've got a lot of commonly neglected muscle areas in your body, and I've written a blog on this called Commonly Neglected Muscles and What to Do About It. And we've got your core that tends to get inactive. We have your back, your scapular stabilizers, the muscles in your back. We've got your hip flexors, okay, with the front of your hips. We've got your glutes, so your butt muscles. And then we have, let's see here, hip flexors, glutes, core, back. Let's just stay with those 5 for now. But anyways, part of mobility is working on activating those muscles. So one way to do that is through massage, but not all of us can have a masseuse or a massage therapist on call. So what we can do instead is, yes, the lacrosse balls. These come back into play. And we can rub the lacrosse balls on the muscle to help wake that muscle up. So a lot of people will also use a foam roller for this. So you've probably seen a foam roller before. Foam rollers are good for muscle activation. They aren't very good for releasing muscle knots, but they are good for muscle activation. So part of what we're doing with mobility is muscle activation. And you can use a lacrosse ball for this. You can use a foam roller for it. Um, and then from there, once we have that muscle kind of active, once we've woken that muscle up, now we need to make sure that it's turned on, that it's firing correctly. So after we do something with a foam roller, or we do something with a lacrosse ball, now we are going to do an exercise that isolates that muscle and turns it on or strengthens it. So we're going to do something that isolates your glutes. We're going to do something that isolates your core. We're going to do something that isolates your scapular stabilizers, the muscles in your back. So those aren't full body exercises. We're not going to do a high lunge or a squat in order to turn one muscle on. We're going to do something that you typically find in a physical therapy office. We're going to do something that directly addresses as few muscles as possible, so that we can target the muscle that we're trying to target here. So that's the other aspect of mobility, is muscle control and muscle activation and motor control. So that's another thing we're going to be doing. Beyond that, so mobility, we've got a few aspects. We have the soft tissue aspect, so the ability to stretch, so flexibility. We have muscle control, so what I just described, muscle activation. We have addressing restricted muscle tissue, so that's working into muscle knots, releasing muscle knots. And then we also have, we also have joints. So we need to make sure that your joints are happy, that they're where they're supposed to be, that you have joint capsule space, that they're not in pain. And so addressing joints, pain is usually caused in your joints by tight muscles. So when, for example, let's say my bicep is tight, or let's say my tricep is tight, and let's say my traps are tight. So when all of those muscles are tight, guess where they all connect, right? They all connect to the shoulder. So when I have pain in my shoulder, kind of clicking and grinding in my shoulder when I do a motion like this, that's caused by tightness in the muscles that connect to the shoulders. So in order to keep my joints healthy, I need to make sure that I'm keeping the muscles that connect to the joints long. So when we have wrist pain, when we have elbow pain, shoulder pain, when we have knee pain or hip pain, it's usually caused, it's not caused by the joint themselves. Rarely is it caused by the joints themselves. You can usually work on the soft tissue, your muscles, before you have to go into a physical therapist office and work on your joints. So, again, you want to focus on the muscles that connect to these joints, rather than saying, oh, I have a crappy knee, or I have a bum knee, I have a bad elbow, I have a bad wrist. No, you don't have a bad wrist, you don't have an elbow, you don't have a bad knee. You have weak muscles that connect to your knees. You have weak muscles that connect to your wrists. You need to work on strength and flexibility in your forearms, strength and flexibility in your hips, muscle control, muscle engagement in your hips and in your core. So pain is an indicator of lack of mobility. It's an indicator of lack of strength, muscle engagement, lack of flexibility. So all of these things that go into mobility. So that is what mobility is. That is why it is so important. And that's why a lot of common issues come up, because of a lack of mobility, because of a lack of muscle engagement. And again, if we go under the umbrella of what mobility is, that includes motor control or muscle activation. That includes restricted muscle tissue, so muscle knots. That includes flexibility, so the ability of your muscles to stretch. And it also includes motor control, so the ability of your muscles to engage. Wait, I already said that one. It also includes your joint health. So keeping the muscles that connect to your joints, keeping them long, keeping them stretched out so that they don't pull on the joints and cause that inflammation or cause that pain that we are used to. So now that you guys know what mobility is, let's talk a little bit about why you need mobility if you want to do the cool exercises, right? So you've probably seen a picture of me, or me sharing a photo of somebody else doing a handstand or doing a crow pose or doing a forearm stand. And the way that you get to these poses isn't by simply jumping up into them and hoping that you stay there. It's by working on the basics that work into these postures. So, for example, for a handstand, I need to have very good shoulder mobility. I need to have a very strong core. I need to have strong hips. I need to have loose hamstrings. I need to have chest strength. I need to have arm strength. So in order to put all of that together, I'm not just going to go straight up into a handstand. I'm going to work on upper body strength through planks and push-ups. I'm going to work on shoulder mobility through flexibility work, but also through mobility work, self-myofascial release with a lacrosse ball or with a medium firm knot out. So I'm putting this between my shoulder blades and moving my arms around while I'm laying on my back and laying on the medium firm knot out. I'm going to hold a strap and I'm going to work on stretching here. So I'm going to work on my mobility, work on flexibility there with the strap. So the reason why this is so important is if you don't have the mobility, if you cannot simply lift your arm overhead without your core staying upright, right, without your chest. So I'm going to take my shirt off so you guys can see this. But if I can't lift my arm overhead without my chest staying drawn in, right, without my ribs staying drawn in like this, okay? So if I can't get straight up and down here, then I'm not going to be able to there's no way I can put weight into that, right? There's no way that I can get my arms straight overhead and expect to be able to hold my body weight if I can't even do it with no weight. So in order to get strength, in order to build strength, we need to establish a base of mobility. So you can imagine your fitness as a pyramid. And at the bottom of that pyramid is your mobility. On top of mobility, we can build strength. We can build muscle control. We can build whatever it is. We can build full body movements. But we need to have that lower level of foundational mobility in order to do these exercises. So again, if you want to do a handstand, if you want to do a forearm stand, you need to be able to replicate what you are doing in a forearm stand or in a handstand without any resistance, without any weight, okay? So what most people have in terms of shoulder flexibility, when they start to lift their arms up, they don't have enough shoulder flexibility to do a handstand, right? So they get up here with their arms, and then they have to back bend in order to get their arms straight up, right? So instead of getting their arms straight up like this, they have to back bend. And that means that there is a lack of shoulder mobility there. And when you try and go up into the handstand, you'll have somewhat of a banana shape to your body, and you won't be able to use your core because your spine isn't straight. So you won't be able to hold yourself up because you can't properly use your core to hold your legs facing straight up, squeezing your legs together and holding everything intact. Okay, so that's why mobility is so important. If you don't have the mobility to do what you want to do without any weight, there's no way that you can add weight to that. There's no way that you can add your body weight to that movement and then expect to be able to do it. So that is why mobility is so important. Now, on top of that, mobility is the first thing that tends to go as we get older. So I'm not that old, but even I've noticed that my mobility isn't the same as when I was 18, right? So mobility is something that we need to actively address as we age in order to keep that mobility. And there are so many things working against us to keep our mobility low. We've got desk jobs. We drive in cars. Even if we stand up at a desk, like I have a stand-up desk. This is my stand-up desk. But I'm not exactly moving around while I'm here, right? I'm standing and I'm typing like this. Every now and then, maybe I'll turn to the side and I'll do this, or I'll do this. But the point is, I'm not really doing a lot of movement. And I'm doing more movement than most people. I mean, with a desk job. So we spend hours sitting per day, and that kills our mobility. We are losing mobility as we're sitting down, as we're not doing anything. We are losing mobility. We're losing strength. We're losing muscle activation. We're losing flexibility. Our muscles are turning into mush. They are getting tight. They are getting inactive. So here's the issue. That is the issue. So, and again, combine that with the fact that we're getting older and that our mobility is going away because we're getting older, and you've got a bad recipe there. So in order to stave off this lack of mobility, we have to work twice as hard as active people or people who didn't have desk jobs 100 or 200 years ago. We have to work twice as hard as those people in order to keep our mobility up. So we definitely need to use stuff like lacrosse balls. We need to work into tight muscle tissue, into muscle knots, into restricted muscle. We need to be doing stretching, using straps, okay? We need to use stuff like this to do what we wouldn't be able to do with just our body. We need to be using foam rollers. If you can, you need to be getting a massage every once in a while to target those muscles that you might not be able to get by yourself. So mobility is so important because, again, it's leaving you. Your daily tasks are killing your mobility. And if we want to be able to do anything, we want to do handstands, if we just want to do a shoulder press, right? This takes a lot of mobility. Being able to press straight up without our back being arched, this is difficult. But most of what we're doing during the day involves this, right? We're sitting on a computer, and look at our shoulders, right? They're rounded forward like so. So if we spend 8 hours a day doing this, okay, so 8 hours a day, I am rounding forward like this. What do you think is going to happen when I go to work out? Do you think that my shoulders are just going to magically pull back and that I'll be able to go straight up and down without any issues? No. We have to work on mobility in order to preserve mobility. It's not just going to stay there. It's especially as we get older, it's not going to stay. So we need to work on mobility, especially because of, again, what we're doing during the day, desk jobs. Currently sitting at my desk with a baseball between my chair and back. Next it'll be hammies. Nice job, Rick. So yeah, another thing you can do is actually sit on a ball while you're at work to work on your hamstrings, to work on your glutes. I do that. I even take it to bars with me when I go out, which isn't very often. But I've taken lacrosse balls to bars with me, and I'll sit on them, and I'll just work on my glutes while I'm sitting there having a conversation. Super weird. I don't expect you guys to do that, but just wanted to share that it is a thing. So anyways, mobility, super important. If you want, so the people that I talk with, so let's see here. So especially when you're in your 40s, when you're in your 50s, when I talk with people who are in their 40s and their 50s, and they've done yoga and they've done this stuff, they wish that they had done it 20 years sooner, because it's so much easier to build mobility while you're younger than it is when you're older, right? We have this, not just as this society, not just if you're just in North America, but this is just what humans do. We put off long-term solutions for short-term satisfaction, right? That's just what we do. And that's part of the world we live in, is that we want instant gratification for things. We hit the like button, we press add to cart, and Amazon ships it here in like even 4 hours now with Amazon Prime. We want instant gratification. We want instant delivery of what we pay for or what we put in effort for. But the thing is, it doesn't happen right away. So when we do mobility work and we don't notice what happens right away, we just put it off. And then 20 years down the line, when we get to the point where we can't even lift our shoulders over, we can't even lift our arms like this, or we can't touch our toes anymore, then we start to do it. But at that point, it's hard. You have to put in a lot more effort. You have to sacrifice the things that you enjoy doing because your body doesn't work the way that it's supposed to. So the solution is doing the shit now. Don't put it off. Don't say, oh, I'll do it next year. Don't say, oh, I'll do it later. If you want to get stronger now, if you want to get better at anything that you do, if you want to recover faster from your workouts, if you want to have more muscle control, if you want to have a reduced risk of injury, You need to improve your mobility now. It's not something you do tomorrow. In fact, if you've been lifting for, let's say you're on a lifting program right now, and you've been doing that program for 1 month, and you're feeling excessively sore, stop lifting. Do the mobility stuff. Get back into lifting a month later after you spent a month on this mobility stuff, and your lifting is going to be so much better. You're going to be doing more weight, you're going to be doing more reps, you're going to be recovering more quickly, and you're going to feel better. You're not going to feel clicking and grinding in your joints. You're not going to feel back pain like you did before. Mobility is going to make every aspect of your fitness better. It improves, remember that pyramid I talked about at the beginning? This improves your basic foundation of fitness. The more you can improve your mobility, the better you are going to be at everything else you do. So when it comes to starting a mobility program now, how do I start? So 5 to 10 minutes per day is easy enough to do. But if you don't know what you need to be doing, if you don't know the exercises, you don't know how to combine exercises, you don't know how to use, let's say, this stuff in conjunction with body weight exercise or with yoga postures, I've created educational programs for that. But what I want to let you know about right now is the Mobility Challenge. And this is a 21-day program that I've designed for people to learn the basics of mobility, to learn the basics of mobility, of muscle activation, of improving mobility, improving flexibility, improving your joint health, and combine that with body weight and yoga exercise. So this is similar to the Mobility Project, if you've heard of that. But what's unique about this is we've included many more mobility-focused workouts and added daily emails and a community atmosphere to this challenge. So not only will you be doing this workout, these workouts on your own, or in your apartment, wherever you do your yoga workouts, you'll be doing them as a community. So we already have about, I think, 100 people or so signed up right now. I expect that number to probably double by today or over this weekend. So you don't respond to my question about Experiences Yoga, how to enhance mobility. Dude, I'm talking about a mobility program right now. It's kind of rude, isn't it? So the Mobility Challenge is a 21-day program that I've designed to help you improve your overall mobility. We are going to be doing 21 workouts, HD video workouts, along with emails to help hold you accountable, tell you tips about what the workout involves, tips about what the workouts involve, how to get the most out of them. And then again, the daily email to hold you accountable is a huge aspect of this. We'll also have a Facebook group open for this so that people can interact, so that they can share their experiences, and so that they can get better together and hold themselves accountable. One of the really cool things about challenges is the community aspect of it. So we aren't just the community aspect of it. So we aren't just working out on our own. You're working out as something bigger than yourself. And one of the biggest problems when it comes to not doing your workout program is working out and not feeling a community atmosphere, not having a workout buddy to kind of check in with you and say, hey, you're doing your workouts. And so with no one to hold you accountable, we just give up. We say, you know what, I'm too busy right now. You know what, I'll do it next week. This week is busy. Or like, this week I have a lot going on. You know what, every week is going to be busy. Every week you're going to have something going on. The question isn't whether you're busy or not. We're all busy. We've all got stuff to do. We all have obligations. People have kids. People have jobs. People have parents to take care of. We've all got obligations. The question is whether or not you see this as important to you. Is your health important enough to you that you can sacrifice 20 minutes a day to make yourself more able to do the things that you need to do, to make yourself more able to fulfill the obligations that you need to fulfill, to make you more capable of taking care of your family, of doing a better job at work, of producing more at work, of producing more good for whatever it is you do, fulfilling your purpose? Are you willing to take the 20 minutes per day, or however long these workouts last? I'm just saying 20 minutes because you can get a good workout in 20 minutes. Are you willing to take the 20 minutes per day on yourself so that you can make yourself better, so that you can make yourself more capable to do all the things that you need to do? That's the question. It's not, am I busy right now? You're always busy. You're always going to have stuff to do. You're always going to have bills to pay. You're always going to have obligations. But the question is, do you think that you are worth the time? Do you think that out of all the things you do, all the people that you take care of, are you important enough to take care of yourself? And that is, I think, one of the biggest obstacles when it comes to people getting started in workout programs is, are you worth it? And the question is, yes, you are. You're either going to be paying for, in this case, your mobility. You're going to be paying for your lack of mobility, your lack of fitness now with 20 minutes or, a workout every day, or you're going to be in surgery in 20 years, in 15 years, in 10 years. You are going to be having surgery. You're going to be in physical therapy. You are going to be unable to do the things that you want to do. And I'm not saying that because I'm trying to scare you. I'm saying that because it's true. If you don't take care of yourself, it's going to catch up with you. That's it. If you don't take care of yourself, your lack of health, your lack of fitness is going to catch up with you. It's much easier for you to put in the time now than it is for you to wait until you're 50, until you're 60, to fight an ever getting more uphill battle in order to reverse a trend that you could have done by simply putting in the effort at the beginning 20 years ago. So, the mobility challenge. This is how you can get started. This is how you can reverse the trend if that's what needs to be, if that's what the trend needs to be, or this is how you can start learning about how you can take care of your body, the right exercises, the right mobility techniques, the right movements. So join the mobility challenge, sign up. We've got hundreds of people who are here. They're all going to be cheering for you. They're all in the same boat that you are. Everyone's got shit to do. We've all got obligations. We've all got problems, but we're united because we are working on addressing our health together. Join the community, do the workouts, get a sense of fulfillment from yourself. Know every day that you're completing this challenge that you are doing something for yourself, that you are making yourself better. You are getting into a mindset of task completion. And this isn't something that will just affect your health. This leads into everything else. I think that the easiest thing to do, the easiest thing to push yourself in is a workout. It's the easiest thing, it's literally the easiest thing that you can do in terms of pushing yourself. If we want to get, let's say, if we want to get a degree, let's just use that as an example. We have to spend 2 to 4 years studying, time managing, working a schedule, maybe working a part-time job in order to get a degree, right? So that is not something that we just, let me push harder for 10 more seconds. That's something that you push for 2 years for. Your workouts, on the other hand, that's something that's done within an hour at the most. That's not something that you have to look at, oh crap, you know what, I've got to put in like 3 more months of effort, I've got to buy this, this, and this, and I've got to learn this. You put in effort for 1 hour, and you're done. That's it. You've completed your goal. Working out is literally the easiest thing in terms of struggles. It's you don't have to learn anything to do it. It's just whether or not you decide to push yourself in those few seconds. That's it. It's super simple. And when you learn how to do that in your workout, so if you develop the discipline to be able to have a consistent workout program and to do it and to just say to yourself, I've got a workout today and I need to do it. That leads into every other aspect of your life. Training yourself to get through your workout leads into everything else. So it starts with working out. It's the easiest thing to do. It's literally the easiest thing that you can do to make yourself a better person. I sincerely believe that. Reading is, you've got to read a book. That takes a while. Reading a 200-page book, and then you have to put those not just ideas and not just information, you have to put that into action. When you're working out, you're putting things into action immediately. You are doing stuff right away as you're following a workout, as you're doing a workout. So, are you joining us? Sign up. It's manfulyoga.com/the-mobility. Sorry, I had a call. So sign up. Again, manfulyoga.com/the-mobility-challenge. 21-day program focused on improving your overall mobility, getting you into the habit of working on mobility on a daily basis, helping you, getting you into the habit of working on mobility on a daily basis, holding you accountable with daily emails, getting you involved in a community with people all doing these workouts, all working toward the same goals, getting you into something that's bigger than yourself, and working on you, taking the time every day, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Our workouts are averaging about 30 minutes for this challenge, to work on you, to work on yourself, not to work on somebody else, not to work on your job, not to work on something that somebody else is making you do, but to work on yourself. So join the challenge, sign up. You're going to love it. The workouts are fun. The way that your body feels after doing mobility work is phenomenal. It's instant gratification. It's an instant change. So we talk a lot about workout programs and, it takes about 8 weeks for you to lose 20 pounds and yada. This workout isn't measured in pounds lost. It's not measured in inches lost. You're going to lose weight if you're overweight and you're doing this program. You are going to look better. You're going to develop muscle as you're doing this program. But the most significant part of what we do in these workouts is improving the way that your body feels. So how you wake up in the morning, how stiff you feel, how you're sitting at work, your posture. These are all things that we're going to address in this workout program. So improving the way that you feel, improving the way that you stand up, so improving your confidence, improving your posture, improving muscle, improving the character of your muscles, so improving flexibility, mobility. That means you feel better, you have less joint pain, you have less aches and pains. So this is what the main focus is of the Mobility Challenge. Again, a 21-day program focused on improving your overall mobility. All right, I think I've said everything that I need to say. I have not. This is the last day to sign up for the Mobility Challenge at the early bird pricing. And again, this is the last day to sign up for the Mobility Challenge at early day pricing. It's less than $10 to sign up. You'll get 21 workouts, 21 emails, access to our private Facebook group, and you can even pay $5 more and get access to me for the duration of the challenge, and I'll help you out with any questions that you have. If you have questions about how to integrate this into your workout program, or whether or not you should be doing this with your knee or with your bad knee, or what you should be doing if you have a sprained ankle, if you have specific questions like that, you can enter the priority email list, and I'm happy to help you and make time for you. I will try to get to all the emails, but I just don't have time a lot of the time, and I can't answer everyone. So I created a priority email list this time so that you can sign up and get access to me directly, and I'll respond to those emails within 24 hours or as soon as possible. And again, the early bird pricing is ending today, midnight Central Standard Time. So you've got about 14 hours to sign up for the Mobility Challenge before the price goes up. It's going to go up at midnight. And right now it's less than $10. Less than $10. You get workouts for 21 days. You get access for a month and a half to those workouts. So even after the challenge is done, you'll still have plenty of time to get through all the workouts and finish them. And then after that, you can join the members area. You can have access to those workouts whenever you want, as long as you have an internet connection. Once you sign up, you'll also have access to, you'll also have an option to download the workouts. So if you want to download the workouts, that way you can view them without an internet connection. That is an option. And that's a big plus for people who travel a lot, for people who don't have reliable internet connections, for people who work out in their basements or in their garage where the internet isn't as reliable. So that's a really big plus, being able to download the workout. So that is an option, and we'll describe that, how to access that once you sign up. Now, as far as all the tools that you need, I want you to sign up as soon as possible because there are a decent amount of tools that you need. And you can finagle these tools, you can kind of build them for yourself and probably spend no more than 20 or 30 bucks to get everything. So here's what you're going to be needing. You're going to be needing a lacrosse ball. You are going to be needing a medium firm knot out. And if you'll notice, these two things look pretty similar. So you can purchase a medium knot out and this is already 2 lacrosse balls pretty much bound together. Or you can buy 3 lacrosse balls and just use hockey tape to tape the lacrosse balls together and form a knot. So that's an easy way. You're going to need a belt or a rope or a strap. You can buy a yoga strap if you want to, but you don't need to. All you need is a belt. You're also going to need a block. So a yoga block like this. I recommend a cork one. You can also get a stack of books. You can just stack up some books, and that works too. You're also going to be needing, let's see, we've got the lacrosse ball, the medium knot out, the block, the strap, foam roller. You're needing a foam roller. Ta-da! Foam rollers are much less expensive than you think. The one that I use is called a Busy Buddha foam roller, and it's on Amazon, and it's $16. It's a very good foam roller. Once you sign up for the Mobility Challenge, you have all the discount codes for this. So you can get the knot out at 25% off. You can get yoga strap. You can get yoga mats at 15% off. You can get foam rollers at 20% off. So once you sign up, you get everything that I just described with the promotional codes and how to get them. And that's another reason why I want you guys to sign up right now, is because we start on Monday, September 26th. That is in 10 days. So you need to have all of these tools before you sign up. Can you participate in the program without the tools? Not really. You're going to need these tools. You're going to need these because a significant part of this tool is, as we discussed before, when we're talking about overall mobility, is working into muscle knots, is working into restricted muscle tissue. And you're going to need these tools in order to do that. The good news is that you can get them for cheap. So if you want to MacGyver this, if you want to go to Play It Again Sports and buy some used lacrosse balls, you can do that. If you want to buy lacrosse balls online, they're like $2 each. They're cheap. They are not expensive. So, and everyone has a belt in their house. Everyone has a stack of books. A foam roller, again, $16 on Amazon. So, and then plus the 20% savings, so it's like $14, $13. So anyways, the point is, all of this stuff is available. You can get it. It's very easy to get. It's not expensive. So anyways, so we've got the tools you need. We've got the early bird pricing ending today. If you haven't bought it yet, go over to the website right now, manfulyoga.com/the-mobility-challenge. My girlfriend has just got in. Hi, Marissa. How are you? The-mobility-challenge. We've also got the Vimeo On Demand channel for these workouts. So if you want to download the workouts and use them without an internet connection, that's something that you can sign up for after you get into the Mobility Challenge, after you sign up for the program. And we also have the priority email list. So unlike other challenges in the past, I created a priority list so that if you want to get in, so that if you want to get email access to me and for me to respond as quickly as possible, I'm going to put you on a priority email list. Now, I'm going to respond to as many people as I possibly can. That's what I do. People have questions and I'm happy to answer them. But the thing is that I get a lot of emails and I can't always answer them right away. So if you put yourself on the priority email list, I will get to you as quickly as possible. That's something new for this challenge. And then lastly, this is the last challenge we're doing of 2016. It's September. This challenge is going to lead into October. This is the last one we're doing of 2016. So your next opportunity to do a challenge with us is going to be in January. So sign up now. Challenges are fun. I mean, there's a reason why we do these. They generate a lot of excitement. People are all doing the same workouts. We're all working as a team. Everyone's supporting you. Everyone wants you to get these workouts done. It creates a community atmosphere of people who are dedicated to doing their workouts. We know that you've got haters in your life. God, I can't believe I just said haters. But we know that we all have people in our lives that don't support our fitness goals. Well, we've got people who say, oh man, why are you working out? Why are you spending all this time working out? What are you doing? Wow, that just created a bunch of like buttons. You guys have a lot of haters apparently. So we've got people who, in our lives, who say, man, why are you working out? Why are you wasting your time with this? Come, have a pizza. Come hang out with me. Let's watch TV. And it's tough to say no to your friends, but the benefit of having a community while we're doing this is that you can make new friends. You can talk with people who want to get workouts done, who want you to get your workouts done, who want to get better, who want to improve. So that's one other huge aspect of the community, of the challenges, is the community atmosphere, is the community aspect that makes it a lot easier for you to hold yourself accountable and do your workouts. So I think that's everything. Early Bird Challenge, the Early Bird Savings for the Mobility Challenge is ending today. You've got about 14 hours less. Actually, less than that. I think you've got about 13 hours now. You can sign up at manfulyoga.com/the-mobility-challenge. Sign up for the priority email list. I highly recommend that, and that way I'll get you emails as soon as possible. And then we've got download access to the workouts. So once you sign up, if you want to get download access to the workouts, that is an option. So if you if you travel for work, or if you work out in a part of your house that doesn't have good internet connection, or you just want to be able to access the workouts whenever. You know, if you're over at a friend's house and you want to do the workout and you just want to do it on your phone, you can download it on your phone, shut yourself in a bedroom, and then do your workout, and then come out and just say, I don't know, you had to take a shower, you had to do something else. So, anyways, that is an option as well. And then I also put together a pre-start homepage. So as soon as you sign up, you're going to get a link for a homepage for the challenge that has all of this information, everything that I just said and more, including all of the promotions, all of the discounts for the mobility challenge. All of the promotions, all the discounts for the products you'll need for the mobility challenge. All of the, what else do I have on there? Workouts that you can use to help prepare your body. So if you haven't done a lot of yoga before, I put 3 workouts up there so that you can use these workouts. To help prepare your body for the challenge. If you've never done yoga before, it's a nice way to help kind of get you in the yoga, right? You're working into yoga movements, getting your body used to yoga movements before we jump into the challenge. And then there's a lot of helpful blogs on there. So today I kind of went life coach mode on you. I talked a little bit about why we have issues doing our workouts, why we have issues finding motivation for our workouts sometimes, what factors help to make a successful workout program, community, being held accountable. So I put a lot of helpful blogs into that pre-start homepage so that you can use those to get into the right mindset for this challenge, so that you can be successful, so that you can do all 21 of these workouts. So that is everything. Got the pre-start homepage with all of that information more. This challenge, I'm really excited about this challenge. I think we've gone further than we have for challenges in the past for this one. We're constantly learning, we're constantly improving. We've made things more streamlined this year. We've made it so that people can access me a lot easier, so that I'll be able to help people if they need it. Mobility Challenge. Early bird pricing ends today. Sign up now. manfulyoga.com/the-mobility-challenge. I'm going to go through and address some of these comments now. Try putting that face on the logo. Should make an interesting conversation starter. Yeah, that would. Currently sitting at my desk with a baseball in between my chair and back. Rick, you're the man. By the way, Rick, if you're still watching this, you better be at my workshops in Seattle. I'm going to be pissed if you don't show up. Seriously, I'm going to be pissed. Oh yeah, Seattle workshops coming up, manfulyoga.com/Seattle. I'll be in Seattle for a series of workshops on October 8th and October 9th. We've got 4 topics: beat the desk, activate and prepare, excel and perform, and restore and recover. So a lot of really cool workshops I'm doing. Again, Seattle, October 8th and October 9th. That's a Saturday and a Sunday. Sign up, learn more at manfulyoga.com/Seattle. Michael Hips, can't wait for the challenge to start. I'm loving the workouts on your DVD. Awesome, Michael. I'm glad you got Body by Yoga. Oh, by the way, this is the last day to get 20% on Guy Yoga, Beginner's Yoga for Men. So if you haven't gotten that yet, you're interested, go to manfulyoga.com/Guy Yoga, GUYOGA, or you can click on the, if you're on the Facebook page, you go to facebook.com/manfulyoga. There's a cover, our cover page right now has information on how to get 20% savings from Udemy, which is where we're selling these workouts for people who don't live in the US. France, true words, yes, and I saw that comment right when I was talking about, I think I was talking about being held accountable for your workouts, or maybe it was about mobility and getting older, can't remember. Rick, how long should you roll your back with the ball? I would do about 5 minutes per spot. So if you're spending maybe 5 minutes on your lower back and then 5 minutes on the middle back and right between your shoulder blades, so if you're going from here up to your neck, you can spend about 15 minutes on that whole region. I would spend just about a minute tops on one spot. So I would go, for example, I go 1 minute here, and then if I'm gonna go a little bit higher, 1 minute there, 1 minute there, 1 minute there, et cetera, et cetera. So I wouldn't spend too much time on one spot, just about 1 minute. One thing to keep in mind is when you're doing mobility, you're not gonna get every knot out of your body in one day. Those knots took years to develop. It's not all gonna come out in one day. So just be consistent with it, address it on a continual basis, and you'll make progress over time. Ayush Sawani, you didn't answer my question about exercise yoga poses to better up lower back pain. How to enhance mobility for the lower back, upper hip. Ayush, the reason I didn't answer you because I just don't have time. I'm sorry. And it's all in videos, it's all in blogs. Michael Hips, I'm 50, you're telling the truth. Yeah, mobility is important. DVD already released. Ben, the DVD has not been released yet, but we have released the workout series. So you can buy Guy Yoga on Amazon Video or on Udemy. I just realized that like my head is cut off. So I think I'm just gonna do a lunge down here in order to stay in the frame. Michael Rash, I'm gonna do my first challenge, So True, on Friends. Michael, awesome. And I think you just signed up, right? I don't know if you're still here, but I think you just signed up. I think I saw something about your name just pop up. Ashton just signed up. Awesome, Ashton. We are looking forward to having you there on the challenge. All right, guys, I'm gonna sign off because honestly, I've got a lot of work to do. But I'm really looking forward to you guys participating in the challenge. Thank you so much for watching this. I hope you learned something about mobility. I hope I inspired you to take care of yourself, to work out a little bit more. Information and inspiration. That is my goal here. So if I can inspire you, or if I can give you some information to help you improve yourself, to help you improve your fitness, that is what I'm doing. If that works, then I consider myself successful. So thank you so much for watching. Let's see. I think that's it. I'm gonna be going to the Bulletproof Conference next week, Friday through Sunday. So if anybody's gonna be there, send me a message. And if you want to go and you don't have a ticket yet, send me a message. I've got a super secret, super awesome discount. Yeah, let me know. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Have an awesome morning. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you on the challenge. Again, sign up, manfulyoga.com/the-mobility-challenge. 21-day program focused on your overall mobility, more strength, less joint pain, more flexibility, more muscle control, better body awareness. There's a lot of good stuff that goes with this. More fluid movements, less daily aches and pains. I've ran out of things to say. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the Mobility Challenge. manfulyoga.com/the-mobility-challenge. Have an awesome weekend.